Fasten your seatbelt and get ready for a really good time. Welcome to the Disney Scrapbook, where together we take a journey to explore Disney history from 50 years ago. My name is Nolan. Today, I thought we would take a look at Disney's sequel to the highly successful 1969 action-packed comedy, The Love Bug. Herbie Rides Again, first released in England on February 15th, 1974, and subsequently in the US on June 6th, 1974. Once again, based on the story Car Boy Girl by Gordon Buford. This film is a whole new 1 hour 28-minute adventure for Herbie the sentient Volkswagen beetle. The film had a working title of The Love Bug Rides Again, with filming scheduled from November 6, 1972 to March 9, 1973. Here in part 1 of this two-part series, we'll learn a little bit about the actors in Herbie Rides Again, explore the premise of this film's storyline, and take a look at some of its production. Set in San Francisco during the 1970s, a revved-up Herbie helps a little lady, Mrs. Steinmetz, save her beloved home, an old Victorian fire station that just happens to stand in the way of business tycoon Alonzo Hawk's plans to build the world's tallest skyscraper. The script was written by the American comic book writer, film producer, and screenwriter Bill Walsh, who had also written the screenplay for Herbie's original film, The Love Bug. Walsh joined Disney in 1943 as a writer for the Mickey Mouse comic strip, having been noticed by Disney for Walt's friend Edgar Bergen, when Walsh was press agent for the Etchinger Company, publicizing the Brown Derby restaurants, Technicolor, and stars like Loretta Young, Irene Dunn, and Edgar Bergen. As a side job, he had been writing jokes and gags for Edgar Bergen's ventriloquist dummies, Charlie McCarthy and Mortimer Snurd. In 1950, Walt Disney asked Walsh to both write and produce the new Disney TV show, 1 Hour in Wonderland. Walsh complained that he knew nothing about the medium of television, to which Walt replied, "Nobody does." This work proved so successful that Walsh went on to produce the Mickey Mouse Club and Davy Crockett TV shows. From there, he went on to write screenplays for Disney's live-action films, starting with The Littlest Outlaw in 1955. He would go on to not only be a screenwriter, but to produce live-action movies. And according to Disney archivist Dave Smith, he would become one of the most successful producers of all time, with hits like Mary Poppins. It would have been interesting to see what else he could have produced if he had not died so suddenly in 1975. Like in so many of his films, Walsh is joined here by the extremely talented director, British-born Robert Stevenson, whom, after graduating from Cambridge University with degrees in aerodynamics and psychology, began directing films in 1932. With Happily Ever After, released in the US as A Blonde Dream. He joined Disney in 1957 to work on Johnny Tremaine. In 1977, Variety magazine declared that the Oscar winner Stevenson will become one of the most prolific and commercially successful directors in the history of film, with many box office successes to his name, ultimately directing 19 live-action films for Disney. The Walsh and Stevenson collaboration began in 1961, with the live-action film Absent-Minded Professor. The duo would eventually create 9 Disney films together. Like Chalk and Cheese, Walsh was a cigar-smoking, burly man who wore casual clothes, whereas Stevenson was slender, bearded, and spoke with a cultivated British accent, whilst wearing tailored shirts. Both were detail-orientated, with a sense of humor.
As far as I'm concerned, in every picture there is one person who has to care about that picture, every frame of it, every sound in it, and he has to follow it through right from the very beginning to the very end. That person is me, says Walsh, and so far I haven't seen any shortcuts. My job is to provide the atmosphere and mood in which actors can do their best, says Stevenson. I try to keep things relaxed and not direct too much.
The first woman to win an EGOT, Helen Hayes, was 73 years old during the filming of Herbie Rides Again. She was chosen to play the grandmotherly kind, yet spunky, Mrs. Steinmetz. Mrs. Steinmetz had been left to caretake Tennessee Steinmetz's Victorian San Francisco firehouse, along with Herbie the VW Beetle, whilst he was in Tibet visiting his ailing philosophy teacher. Mrs. Steinmetz had a connection with the firehouse, as much as she and the deceased Captain Steinmetz had held their marriage there. Herbie Rides Again was Helen Hayes' first screen comedy, having always wanted to try her hand at comedy, but she got sidetracked. Her movie debut in 1931 won her an Oscar for her performance in The Sin of Madeleine Claudette. A talented and dedicated actress, her career would eventually span over 70 years. She was delighted when Disney producer Bill Walsh invited her to be in Herbie Rides Again. She said she had always wanted to do a picture for Disney. This was the third try. Walsh had wanted her to play in The Light in the Forest and The Happiest Millionaire, but she was busy on stage both times. It's easy to see what Walsh saw in her, as her Golden Globe performance here was captivating. Her skillful performance of a strong old lady who gently fights against adversity is the glue that holds the picture together. Playing the love interest in this film is Ken Berry, an American actor, comedian, dancer, and singer, who mainly appeared on television, probably best known for playing Sam Jones in Mayberry RFD from 1968 to 71. In Herbie Rides Again, he plays a recently graduated, idealized attorney, Willoughby Whitfield, who acquired his first job from his uncle, the villainous antagonist of this picture, Alonzo Hawk. Of the role, Berry said,
I play a lawyer who gets a nice old lady and her little VW out of one jam into another. It's a golden opportunity to play second banana to a beetle.
This will be one of two film roles he did for Disney. His role adds a good deal of comic relief to the film, with some clever visual gags. At age 41, when playing the role, he comes across as more like 30. He displays good character development, but it's obvious from the opening of the film that he's the one who will get the girl in the end. The prolific Stephanie Powers, who started her film career as a teenager, returns to Disney after starring in The Boatniks to play a feisty airline hostess, Nicole Harris, who was not scared to throw a punch to unwelcome callers. Of the part, she says,
It was an offer I couldn't refuse. I adore a challenge, and there was my chance to appear with the First Lady of the American stage, and Herbie, the first Volkswagen of show business.
Powers is an impressive linguist, polo player, and conservationist, who went to school in Hollywood with the likes of Natalie Wood and Nancy Sinatra. The incomparable Keenan Wynn, king of comedy bad guys, plays Alonzo Hawk, the hot-tempered king of high-rise builders, a predatory tycoon who will not let anything stand in his way. This is his first crack at Hawk, having played the character in The Absent-Minded Professor and Son of Flubber. He is even more volatile and meaner here, which contrasts well with Helen Hayes' peaceful, calm attitude towards all of his blustering. Keenan Wynn, who took his name from his grandfather, Shakespearean actor Frank Keenan was the son of the great vaudeville comedian Ed Wynn. Keenan started out on the stage before getting a contract with MGM, where he was the utilitarian character player in the 1940s and 50s. He would eventually appear in hundreds of films and television series, 6 of the films being for Disney, where he would also provide the narration for the educational animated short VD Attack Plan. In playing Alonzo Hawk, Wynn says,
"The trick is to get the audience to laugh at him. The guy is in the construction business. He has built his empire, he's a ramrodder, and he is deadly serious about what he is doing, which is trying to wipe out a little old lady and her pet Volkswagen."
Character actor John McIntyre, who would eventually appear in over 100 feature films and numerous television series, returned to Disney to play a cowman named Judson, who shares amazing escapades with a little old lady and her anthropomorphic Volkswagen, after meeting them on the Steinmetz trolley car number 22 in an inebriated state, after one of Mrs. Steinmetz's escapes from Alonzo Hawk. Born in 1907 in Spokane, Washington, McIntyre grew up on horseback riding broncos. He started out in radio before becoming a seaman. Upon his return, he married actress Jeanette Nolan, who he occasionally co-starred with. He would become known for playing in westerns and film noir. He is an interesting choice for Herbie Rides Again. According to Daily Variety in November 1972, he replaced actor Walter Brennan, who was meant to play Mr. Judson, but had to withdraw due to illness. I personally feel that the original choice of Walter Brennan would have made more sense to me for this supporting comedic role. In my opinion, the 3-time Oscar winner would have come across as a stronger, more determined character with better comedic timing, with his ability to play lovable old codgers who fight for the underdog, as he did in the Snowmobile. Brennan started filming for Herbie Rides Again before becoming too ill to continue. It would be great to see some of these outtakes if they still exist. There is much more for us to explore, so please join me in part 2 of this series, where in particular we will talk about the VW Beetle that was Herbie himself. Thank you for listening. If you would like to watch Herbie Rides Again before part 2 of the series, it is available on iTunes, YouTube, Amazon Prime, Google Play, Disney Plus, and of course, DVD. If you enjoyed this type of 50th anniversary content, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. The Disney Scrapbook will be producing other 50th anniversary content throughout the year that will include reviews of Disney films, LPs, books, and theme park content. Thanks everybody for watching. See you again soon. TTFN. Ta-da for now.